Soulja Boy, bopped by Fortnite. Nintendo definitely loves its arts and crafts. Bethesda, falling out of fashion. And fuck you, I like that joke. Machinima is dead, gather the Dragon Balls. Metroid is having to restart, and MCNs are a ton of fun. That and a couple other things. On, the hell should I call this? So yes, indeedy, we are back again talking about Soulja Boy. All right, and look, I'm pretty sure some of you are greatly tired of talking about Soulja Boy, and yes, I'm pretty sure this is what your boy definitely wants. You know, any publicity is good publicity, as the saying goes. Well, that's not entirely true, but I mean, hey, if you haven't been relevant in I don't know how many years, you definitely want more people talking about you, whether it be good or whether it be bad. So with Soulja Boy being everywhere, on one of the most recent podcasts, I don't remember what the hell the name of it was, but he claimed that Fortnite is coming to his console. Because of course at this point, of course he did. Not necessarily on the PS Vita knockoff, but I think it was on the Xbox / PlayStation controller ripoff one, the one that's long gone that has that one little emulator in it, and the rest of it's like a nothing but an empty shell. But considering the fact that he had like a good 9 or 10 Soulja game consoles, I don't know which one the hell he's talking about. And even though Fortnite is likely to be able to run on your TI-84 calculator, you know those ones, the ones you have to use in math class, because those knockoff consoles are so ass, I don't think that they'd be able to run it anyways. And what's even funnier is Fortnite has something to say about this as well. Which is something, because this is the first company to actually come out and not say anything that we have to speculate on. Kind of like how Nintendo, we just gradually see that certain Soulja domains lead straight back to Nintendo. But this company actually came out and said something. How epic. It was specifically by Epic's senior PR manager, Nick Chester, who legitimately just said, you can't play Fortnite on a rooted or jailbroken device, and that is to stop cheating measures. So he subtly, and just that general PR speak, says you can't play Fortnite on a bootleg console. Now that's the general essence of what he said. That's pretty funny to me. That actually, what else is really funny? That website is still down. And at this point, I don't think it's coming back. Is it legitimately wrong that I want to see a court case? Like, how hilarious is that? All right, so let's be real here. Let's be genuine. All right, Soulja Boy, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Even though you will never see this video, you will never watch this video, you will never give a crap about this video or what I have to say, which is completely fine. But I gotta be honest with you, man. I respect the hustle. I genuinely do. As long as even if you make a life off of being a professional buffoon, I understand that. I understand you do what you gotta do. But that whole notion of, and I'm using that Breakfast Club interview as a frame of reference of that whole trying to keep a black man down kind of thing. Are there people out there that do that? Of course, there's going to be racist people in any kind of, anywhere. But that's not here. You could have the whitest guy on earth try to sell these bootleg consoles, and he's still going to get the same crap. It's not a race thing. It's not at all. And I think what bothers me the most is when people throw out that race card, it takes away from legitimate racism out there. It's really annoying. So they're not trying to keep you down just because you're a black entrepreneur or whatever. They're not going to take time out of their day to do that crap. A small minority may, but a lot of the YouTubers that are covering you, honestly, they're just covering you for views and because it's really funny. And I can support all of the above. But no, just stop, man. You have money. I wish I had your money to be able to make, there's so many things that I would do, so many business ventures that I would chase if I had the opportunity that was been given to you, Soulja Boy. So let's cut the crap Stop trying to sell bootleg garbage. You didn't have a rogue cameraman that hacked your site. You got taken down. You got enough requests sent to Shopify. Shopify's like, we don't want to deal with this crap. We're just going to shut it down. It's so obvious. Shopify had to boss up. They had no other choice. But I hear you though. Them Epic boys ain't supporting that damn dream. Remember, he's just a boy with a dream. Aww. Moving on. Next bit of news. Nintendo working on more Labo products. All right, Nintendo, first off, I love you. I love what you do. But why? Like, I get it, Nintendo. Recapture the novelty of the 90s, Lunchables, Legos, Mega Bloks, because your parents they suck too much to get you connects. But why? Now, to try to be fair, I will say it depends on how much is being put, how much resource is being put into making additional Labo products. Now, if it's a small team that's doing it, then that's completely fine. I don't see like a big deal. I don't see it being a huge issue. I think it's more than fine. But if you're spending a lot on Labo, especially after the comments that were made by Furukawa, not so much, or at least dial it back some. But yes, Furukawa was even saying that it hasn't sold as well as their other hit games, and we are working on new ways to present it. So just again, if you don't put too much into it and take away from other like serious titles, I don't know, like Metroid Prime 4, then okay, that's completely fine. But in my opinion, definitely try. It's just like the motion controls. Or the online service, paid online service. Don't try to force it on people. Now, granted, with the online service, you did mention that you were going to go that way from the beginning, but you forced it on people without offering any real value. Like, it's been kind of garbage. Splatoon works pretty well a good chunk of the time. Smash, don't even get me started on that. Just my 2 cents on Labo, though. I think it's good as a temporary thing. I think it's a real cool, novel concept, and I definitely wouldn't be against getting one. I would love to collect it. I think it'd be really awesome. Like Lego collectors at this point. For Legos, while neat to me as a kid, I'm pretty sure adults collect Legos more than kiddies. Like, I think you can get a lot of money from selling Legos to collectors. Kind of like how adults buy Pokemon games. I mean, that's your audience for the Labo. It is kind of marketed to be for kids, but it's more for just adults that like Nintendo and they just want to have a piece of Nintendo history, and they want to share it with their kiddies. I feel like that's the real bread and butter of Nintendo Labo. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just some random jack off on the internet, so I mean, hey. But yeah, kids these days, they have quite a bit of ADD. It's not necessarily their fault. It's just when we're in a digital age, you just can't help but just be distracted by every little thing. And honestly, a Labo, as cool as it is to me, as niche as it is to me as well, I can see them kiddies play it for like 0.10 seconds and then throw it to the side and pick up an iPad. It's sad, it sucks, but that's just what it is. Speaking of sucking, Fallout 76, baby, the gift that keeps on giving. So, recently, Bethesda decided, hey, we're getting a ton of bad press. Everyone seems to hate us now. Even our endearing factor has seemed to be wearing down to a nub at this point. Let's release a jacket. The Vault 76 Premier Leather Jacket. Oh yes, I'm sure the fans that we have pissed off will love it. So yes, Bethesda released this jacket and it is priced at $276 because why the hell not? Now, don't get me wrong, I never thought of myself as the pinnacle of high fashion. But it looks like a saran wrap. with gold strips on it. To me, it looks like you would it looks like you would preserve a body in that, like just kind of like a Ziploc bag. That's the vibe that I get. It's like a fusion between a Ziploc bag and one of those portable tents that you would take on a camping trip with you. And then the gold stripe in the middle, I feel like I've seen that on every cosplay imaginable at any convention at any and every given time. Other people have criticized the back of it with the 76 on it. It does have kind of like an 80s look, but since I guess with the shoulder, like the arms and the sleeves too, and I'm just going to be fair because, Bethesda's we're doing real bad right now, Bethesda. But, I'm not going to trash you just because it's just trendy to do. The back of it, or at least on the guy on the right body type, gives me kind of like Star-Lord vibes, like the Star-Lord jacket. So I kind of like that. I really do. I genuinely, like if they fixed the front of it, made it look neater and not so tacky and cheap. Like I understand you want it to look as close to, the vault suit outfit as possible. I would just modernize it, like just simply put, and again, not the pinnacle of high fashion. I would at least modernize it. Like I would want to go out in public and be like, hey, this looks pretty good. And that's very possible to do with it. I would mute the color some, I would mute it, like dial back the vibrancy, or not necessarily just that. Just make the colors more solid, shrink it down to where it's more fitted when you put it on, kind of give it like the quality of a biker jacket. They say it's supposed to be real leather, but yeah, it looks like this, like if you pitch a tent, it looks like it's made out of that same plastic, or I don't know, it's made out of like recycled Walmart bags. That's really what it looks like, and it doesn't have to. It's really sad, but Bethesda, just stop. It's over. You probably had all this stuff planned out long before the annihilation of Fallout, so you figured, fuck it, let it ride. But man, this has got to be painful at this point. It's like a boxer getting destroyed and the ref is like asleep or something. It's like a basketball game, or any game actually, where it's an absolute blowout and no one's calling it. It's like a video with that one guy celebrating getting only 1 point and the score is like 10-1 during a ping pong tournament. Just stop, Bethesda. Just stop. You even brought back another bag. Just stop.
Stop! He's already
Speaking
dead.
of things that have stopped, I hope you guys like these transitions, by the way. I have no idea how long I'll be able to do them. Machinima is dead. Now, if you aren't familiar with Machinima, long ago in the before time, if you were into gaming on YouTube, say around 2010, 2009, maybe 2011, I'd say would be like the peak years, you wanted to be on Machinima's network. I remember seeing Super Best Friends, and I think Red and Blue was on there. After Hours was another series that I enjoyed. There were so many little series that I legitimately enjoyed. Was Dorkly on Machinima? I want to say they were, but I can't quite remember. But anyhow, Machinima, they were bought by Warner Digital Network and in turn bought by AT&T. And well, we own Fullscreen, so we can pull an EA and just dissolve them. Fullscreen is also owned by Otter Media, which owns Rooster Teeth and Crunchyroll, so which, damn, no idea there. They decided to delete pretty much all of the videos on Machinima, and maybe, hopefully, I'm hoping this is what they did, but let's be honest, it's a giant corporation that has no idea how YouTube works or, gives any craps about integrity or creators or anything of the sort. But hopefully they at least privatize the eons of content. Like, holy crap, how much content is on there over the years? I mean, it's like, it's even though Machinima is crap, or really was becoming crap and had really bad business practices, especially towards creators, it's like blowing up a museum. I mean, they give a statement pretty general. You know, it's yet another general statement on the whole, you know, buying and acquisition. Should I read it? Do I care? No, it's a blanket. You know it. We've been down this path. It's just a blanketed statement. Who cares? But you've bought it. I mean, so what? Like, why the hell would you delete the history? I mean, whose dumbass idea was this? If anything, it's a kick in the face to all those content creators who made Machinima, who made YouTube, who made the internet culture what it is today. I mean, all that. It's Machinima to me is a time capsule, and to me, it's pretty sad to see. It's a telling sign of the viability of like an MCN. And if you're not sure what an MCN is, it's the buzzword as of late. The multi-channel networks and all that other good stuff. Don't join one unless it's for dealing with copyright issues. I'm speaking to anybody who just happens to be a content creator, just like me. And except for with me, a content creator, I got to use air quotes there. Nothing more, because likely you can run it yourself. Don't try to get anything else from, because they'll come, if they see you growing, you'll get a random one in your email box one day, or random ones plural, and they'll try to promise you the sky and the moon and the heavens and everything, like, oh, we'll do this and do that and do this for you. At the end of the day, almost everything that they can do for you, aside from contacting YouTube, because YouTube is scummy with that, that's it. That's all they can really do for you. Everything else you can do yourself. Outside of that, I would never suggest an MCN in any way, shape, or form. And I'm pretty sure you guys can see that now with all the videos coming out about it, especially with the whole Defy Media debacle from last year. The only way that I could really legitimately say you should join one is if you can afford like the Rolls Royce plans for MCNs. Like if you're a PewDiePie, or if you're a Jacksepticeye, if you're a Markiplier or a RiceCum. And yes, you heard that right. Or the dumbasses. That is the only way. But Machinima itself, just a testament to its scumbaggery back in the day, you would have all sorts of stories of creators getting screwed over by Machinima. And they would even try to make contacts of you sign up with them, you sign up for life, which you can't even do that. But since, YouTube was the Wild West back in those days, they would really try to push that and try to put these creators on treadmills, which, you gotta say, that's pretty evil. That's quite evil. It really, really it pisses me off thinking about that. But even so, again, it's the history that makes me sad. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents on that. Be wary with who you join online. Please do your research. Moving on. So Game Theory came out, or at least MatPat in particular came out and talked a little bit about being scammed by Defy Media, which at this point we all know one of the scummiest scums to ever have scummed. I'll give you a general explanation. Defy Media closed down around November, December of last year? And they did so without telling a single soul, or at least a single person that really should know. There might have been some higher ups that, of course, known when it was going to happen, but a lot of people weren't even the wiser. Like even some just straight up Defy Media employees, they had no idea that they were closing down. They were even still hiring people, which, I mean, on a sinking ship, like why? Why would you even do that? Now, MatPat goes into greater detail than what I need to, so I can just show you a bit of what he's talking about.
Put it this way, it's like if your paycheck before it got sent to your house was sent to like the water company, and then like the electric company, and then McDonald's, and whatever other services that you planned on using for the duration of that month, and then it eventually reaching your own pocket. Everyone gets their cut, and then you finally get access to the money that you rightfully own. It's still your money that you earned at your job at the end of the day, but it went through everyone else's hands first. And that's the loophole that the MCNs started to realize that they could exploit to make themselves look bigger. Here they are, receiving hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of checks from YouTube for all their different creators' AdSense. Sometimes that money is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And of that money, they're maybe keeping 10-20% of it, but on paper, it all looks like the company's money. Defies money because it's sitting in a big bank account that aggregates all this stuff. So why would anyone care about this? Well, because big pots of money are attractive to investors. You would have MCNs getting all this ad revenue money from checks that didn't belong to them, and then ultimately go around bragging about how much money they were earning in the press, in blogs, to their big business contacts, saying, look at how rich and successful we are. Don't you want to invest your money in us, become a part of our business, make it bigger, more successful, and then we all make tons of cash. Hoping deep down inside to sell off before the bottom fell out of this whole Ponzi scheme. They were businesses that were founded with good intent, but ultimately built on nothing.
To me, you think of it as an entertainment manager. You have that manager that does nothing at all and then takes like 30 to 70% of the revenue for 0% of the work. But there are MCNs taking money, still taking tons of money actually from content creators. So that's definitely still a thing. I will say this, there is a skeptic in me because I always can't seem to shape my skepticism, but I do find it curious, maybe the word, because make no mistake about it, none of this is funny, just like me. None of this is funny to where you have this huge company rip off so many small creators that are just trying to make it, and MatPat being ripped off, you know, whether you like game theory or not, whether you have a problem with his content or his character or, you know, the recent Heartbound events, being ripped off is still being ripped off. And, you know, that's not cool. At least to me, him being ripped off and those other small creators being ripped off, that's not cool. And I'm glad that he mentioned that money is a big part of it, because of course you want your money, because it's about money and principle. Because on the one hand, it's definitely about the principle, because I busted my ass for that money. And now it's been repossessed by Ally Bank because you're too stupid to run a company right. So all my hard work just goes into nothing, let alone after all the stuff that you promised me. Like, it's painfully stupid. It's painfully ridiculous. It shouldn't even be a thing. And now these creators are probably, because just like he says, these creators are going to be cheated out of their money because Ally Bank, who, I mean, let's be honest, we know they have no idea how YouTube works. They have no idea how independent creation works. Even though they probably lend money to entrepreneurs all the time, they probably don't even see YouTubers that way. Like, dead serious. Now, I could be wrong. I would love for Ally Bank to be like, hey, guess what? We know how this works. Your guys are getting paid first because this is your money. But I don't see that happening. I see it going to investors first. Anybody that has any bonds or anything, I mean, not bonds, but any kind of shares or anything in the company, or any kind of loans or assets or whatever the case may be. All the big boys, quote unquote, big boys, will get paid first, and the creators will get the scraps, which they're the ones who earned it in the first place. And 1.7 million to a massive creator is probably nothing. Even a MatPat is probably not anything really, because keep in mind that would be split among, I think, like 50 or so creators, give or take. I think that was the estimate. To me, that's a lot, because we broke out here. But Defy Media's, you know, their insane house of cards finally collapsing, it led to that seizure. And it's just, like I said, it's really sad. Just to do the quick math, with it being around 50 or some odd creators, that's anything between, let's see, 1.7 million. Anything between, I'd say, $29,000 to $36,000, I think, per each creator, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty wild. Like when you really think about it. I mean, that's like for any of us regular folks, that's like getting like missing pay for an entire year from a fairly decent job. I guess it also depends on what state you're coming from, but your median income state, that's a fairly decent job, or mid to fairly decent job. I mean, and then of course Google is already taking a cut from the MCN that is taking a cut. So wow, what a great deal for MCNs. So much revenue. It's sad to me that creators think that they should partner with an MCN immediately. Like, please, everyone, I cannot stress this enough. Look out for your own best interest first. Like, do some research, please, guys. I mean, it goes back to Machinima, which why the hell would you notify content creators on the website before you delete everything? Like, that kills me. But anyways, seriously, guys, do your research. As a small content creator, if you come across this video, if you make it this far in this video, do your damn research. Don't let anyone cheat you. If you know, it's that whole pursuit of happiness thing. If you got a dream, you have to protect it. Moving on, Kingdom Hearts 3 director Tetsuya, he seems to be a little bit miffed. He's reconsidering worldwide releases because of leaks. But why? I mean, all right, so Tetsuya, he's upset. Leaks, all that other stuff that happened. I mean, we've been there before. Smash Brothers, all that other good stuff. We know how the leak game works at this point. I don't get why you would be upset about it, just to be honest. Because it was leaked a while back anyways, and they had things in place to where you had to download parts of the game to keep it all from being leaked. Just continue to do that. I mean, if they stopped worldwide releases, which, I mean, it don't matter to me anyway, this is not coming to the Switch. As much as I would like to play Kingdom Hearts 3 and I want Sora to be in Smash Brothers, the fact that I can't carry Kingdom Hearts 3 with me everywhere on the go, that needs to be fixed, Square. You do a lot of dumb things. Let's fix this oopsie that you got going here. But anyways, that aside, if Japan gets it first, what does it matter? He's making it sound like leakers are everywhere else in the world but Japan. They need some flex tape over there too. But it's not really a big deal. Just ask Masahiro Sakurai. I mean, it leaks, it happens. Get over it. You've made an amazing game, so you have all my respect. Keep putting measures in place to where the story is available after release day. Say, for instance, if a journalist leaks it, prosecute them, give them a hard spanking, whatever needs to be done. But it's gonna be hard to stop leaks forever. People are too diligent. They're too. You tell them not to do something or that you don't want them to do something, just because people are douches. Usually, they're going to do it. That's human nature. It's kind of like that whole, what's that story with the frog and the scorpion, and I think they're crossing a body of water, and he was like, don't sting me or we're both going to drown. And then the scorpion, just because he said that, the frog was like, because the scorpion ended up stinging the frog or whatever, and I think it was a frog. Was it a frog? I don't fucking know. Anyways, we'll use it for this example. And then the frog is like, why did you sting us? And we're going to drown now because of it. And the scorpion's like, it's in my nature. Yeah, it's in people's nature to be pricks. So you just got to get used to it, my guy. Just, take solace in that you've completed this trilogy. You pushed out a game that's taken forever to develop. I mean, who knows? Like, incredible things have happened in between the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3 to actually finally being released. Like, it's 2019 now. Like, this is a futuristic sounding year. So, that is a thing. Anyways, moving on. Metroid Prime 4 restart. Metroid Prime 4 has been cancelled. What will we do? And it's been restarted. Sorry, I just like toying with people. Just a bit, just a little bit. But yes, Nintendo came out today and announced that they are scrapping Metroid Prime 4's current development and starting fresh. So that guesstimated, it's going to be released in late 2019 or 2020. Yeah, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's over and done with now, unless they can pull a magic rabbit out of their hat and produce it. But yes, it's a case of go with what you know. Now, I don't have what studio was working on Metroid Prime 4. Literally, the only thing that I had was probably what everybody else has, which is the After Effects presentation of Metroid Prime 4 that was at that last E3. Not the E3 for 2018, but the one before that. But yeah, Retro Studios had a chance to actually work on Metroid Prime 4 years ago, but they chose to make Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze instead, which, as much as I love Samus, can you really blame them? I love me some DK. I mean, the game is incredible. Please make a new Donkey Kong and bring back the Kremlings. Bring my homies home. And another thing that I'll say is weird too on the video, the video that Nintendo released, they disabled the comments, which, there is that. The like ratio was still good though, was the thing. And the fans are understanding this pretty well. They should have expected better from the fans than the need to disable comments. When you disable comments, it's never really a good look. Or at least in my opinion, it's not really a good look. These fans see what happened with Fallout. These fans see what happens with EA and Activision, Bethesda, Ubisoft, all that other good stuff. When you push back development to increase the quality, while we may be disappointed, the consideration of quality is hexagonically more important. And yes, that word does not fit, but I'm still using it. So shout out to Nintendo, other than the odd disable comments thing. That's not really cool to do. I mean, silencing people, that's not really cool. But shout out to you for being honest, though. You were very humble about it, very respectful. You're being completely upfront, which takes some chutzpah, respectable chutzpah to come out. And it's sad. I feel like you should be praised so much because companies just, they just tell you to sit and spin on the issue like these. Continuing on with Nintendo stuff. Nintendo Direct for January seems to be MIA. Where they at though? I'm not sure. I myself was convinced that, there was going to be a Nintendo Direct, and there is not one in sight. Now, I started to lose that too, like everyone else, when they started announcing release dates for games, all the different Final Fantasy games, Yoshi's Crafted World, and they started, and Dogma, which I would expect that game would be a Nintendo Direct announcement, but they just aren't doing it for whatever reason. So I'm not sure what's going on with the whole Direct situation. I always peg Nintendo for always having a Direct in January. Kind of like a State of the Union address. I always picture Nintendo doing it like that, but not really knowing what to say here. They may have one in February. I'll just say this, actually. I do know what to say here. They got to have one at least in the next month or so. At the very latest, maybe the third week in February at the very latest. I can't see it going further than that without a Direct. That just doesn't seem right, especially when E3 will be a couple of months away at that point. So you got to do something, Nintendo. Let us know where you at. Where you at, dog? It's like two older people that can actually get that reference in my audience. Moving on. Wait, am I moving on? Do I care about this story? Do you care about this story? You probably don't. Pikachu movie Snubble looks like he could eat someone. Somebody's been feeding your boy way too many rare candies. All right, looks like you're all caught up. Thanks for watching. So that was my first attempt at a decent news segment. So feel free to let me know what you think about it. If you like the video, as everybody else in their grandma says on YouTube, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And, it makes my soul, it feeds me. It nourishes me. Feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you think about the stories and stuff that I talked about today. Do you want to see more stuff like this too? Because I greatly need some feedback to kind of know what direction. I just popped my knuckle. That kind of hurt like hell. On how to go forward with the channel. If you like what I'm doing, you can definitely support me if you want on Patreon. Tier start as low as like $1 a month. You know, do what you can. And if you can't support in that way and you still want to, I greatly appreciate it anyways. Don't ever want, and not even just me or anybody else out there that you want to support, make sure that you take care of yourself first before you go supporting somebody else, because you need to take care of you first. And sometimes some of you out there, you like to give more than what you need to. Like, you really need to look out for yourself first. But with that said, if you don't want to do the Patreon thing, that's completely fine too. If you have some spare cash, you can support an independent artist and this channel as well still by buying some pretty dope merch. Some pretty neat t-shirts, sweats, tanks, hoodies, all that other good stuff by pretty amazing artists, fantastic artists. So if you want to support them and support the channel and get yourself something nice or as a gift, you can hit threadiverse.com and I think you won't be disappointed. It's a lot of cool stuff on there. And there's some other people that have already got some stuff from there and they seem to enjoy it quite a bit. So that is everything. Again, I hope you all enjoy. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Kind of see how I like elongated it. That was me trying to think of, do I need to say anything else or can I say anything else? You know, just because I'm weird like that.